Happy Halloween! Well, since I can't have any, costume, why not just change up the environment? And the voice. Happy Halloween, y'all. I promise the entire live will be in this voice, unless you want it.
All right, that was already getting annoying to me. Guys, welcome to our Tuesday Takeover, a place where we cover a variety of pop culture news, reality TV, and reality TV news. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear and you can hear all the things.
Okay.
All right, sorry. Happy Halloween, guys, and happy birthday to my mom, who's celebrating a birthday today as well. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Shout out to anyone celebrating a birthday. All right. All right. But you know I don't like Halloween like that. No, I don't like Halloween like that. Anyone else? I know Safari went on social media this week and was like, you know, it's the devil's holiday. And then a lot of you were just saying that so it was convenient for him because he didn't want to celebrate it with his children. I don't know about all that. I think for the most part, being Jamaican and West Indian, I could see where he's not into the holiday, okay? However, you just never know with Safari. I have to say, you know, although I'm not here for Erica Mena or the sympathy interviews that she's doing currently, I will say the picture of her and her kids as the Addams family was pretty funny. Was pretty funny, fun, cute. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, here we go. Here we go. We will be talking about a couple of some of my favorite Halloween costumes from your favorite celebrities. But before we do any of that, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. If this is your very first time here, please understand this is a mashup of some of your favorite reality TV shows, some of your favorite pop culture news, and things like that as well. Hey, Delsenia. I feel like I haven't seen Delsenia in forever. But I know you've been here, Delsenia. Delsenia says, my best friend's birthday is today as well. And guess where she is? In Jamaica. Well, happy birthday to Delsenia's friend. Shout out to all the Scorpios. All right? Shout out to all the Scorpios. Let's get into a countdown. As always, guys, if you're part of the Replay Crew live chat, let me know what is your good news today. I want to hear your good news in the chat, but also let me know where you're watching from. This is our Tuesday Takeover. We're going to get into some 90 Day Fiancé, Below Deck. I'll talk a little bit about House of Villains. I didn't get to finish this week's episode. But we will also talk about Big Brother 10, and Big Brother 25, the current season. I have a lot to unpack there. I might have to do a separate podcast just to talk about it because just there's a lot to unpack, and Tuesday Takeover is already jam-packed with a lot. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, the Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitter and on Twitch, and those of you watching behind the scenes here on TikTok. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the gifts. It's on the move. Judy, thank you to our King's Guards on both platforms, both here on YouTube and on TikTok. We appreciate them. Let's get into this countdown, and then let's get into our Halloween show.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire Channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is our Tuesday Takeover. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Be sure to check out our merch store. Look at this. This is now available. This is embroidered. Okay, houseofkempire.com for more details on some of our merch. And shout out to our live chat on YouTube, Facebook, and here on TikTok. Someone just said that Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine shouted me out on her live yesterday. We're going to talk briefly about Married to Medicine, just because they released the first 8 minutes of Married to Medicine, which premieres this Sunday, along with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Woo! It's a busy weekend ahead of us. I don't know if it was a good idea for Bravo to drop these 2 new shows the last day of BravoCon. I don't know. But we have to talk about Bravo. We have a lot to unpack. Shout out to our members of the channel. I apologize, members. Yesterday, I said I was going to go live for members only so that we could read together this Vanity Fair article. Unfortunately, yesterday just was such a busy day, and I had some work being done here at the home, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it because I didn't want, in the middle of us doing a live, our power situation would have went out, and then it would have been like, oh, what's going on? So I like to be professional whenever we do whatever we're doing. So maybe we'll do a separate live just to do something else and maybe not talk about this article, but we will talk about the article in just a second. As always, what we like to do for our Tuesday Takeover is start off with some good news. Okay, look. I had a couple of good news things that I wanted. First of all, it's Halloween. All right. As I said to you before, it's also my mom's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to anyone else celebrating a birthday today, this week, this season. All right. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Shout out to all the Scorpios. Okay. All right. Stacey, I agree. I'm not too sure about House of Villains either. Like, I like some of the people that are on House of Villains. I'm just not too sure how I feel about it as a show. I'm not too sure about that. But it's okay. We'll talk a little bit about House of Villains. I don't really have a lot to say this week because I didn't get to finish watching last week's episode. As you know, this show comes on Thursday, so we're a little behind on when we talk about it. All right. Darnett says, "Where's your costume?" Right here. Look right here. All right. Let me put up my little. Is this better for you, Darnett? Is this better for you? Is it? Or maybe not. Whatever. I don't have the budget for a costume, all right? You're going to have to deal with this. Okay, this is scary enough. All right, let me zoom in a little bit because I feel like I am too far away. Happy Halloween, guys, for those that celebrate. For me, it's just the beginning of our Christmas season. You know, if anything, we go all out for Christmas here on the channel. So for me, today is just the beginning point of, I can start taking out my Christmas stuff. And I know where some of you are saying, no, you're supposed to wait till after Thanksgiving. No, that was like in 1992. Okay? We don't do that anymore. As soon as November hits, it's our time. All right? Oh yeah, shout out to everyone in Jamaica because there was an earthquake yesterday in Jamaica. So shout out to Jamaica. What is going on with these natural disasters that are happening? I also saw that my friend sent me, I don't know if you've ever been to the Iguazu Falls in South America. Apparently there's like extreme flooding, like they have to close it down, like the water's knocking over the walkways and things like that. What is going on? What is going on? All right. So some good news. All right. We're all here. Well, come on. We're all here. That's always good news. And as always, Replay crew, those of you that are in the live chat, let us know your good news of the day as well. I will also say this. Did you guys see, did you see Flavor Flav singing the national anthem? Well, if you follow me on X, Twitter, then you saw that I reposted and I said, this is probably the second best next to Whitney Houston's version. I was being facetious. All right? I was being facetious. Made in LA says her Christmas tree is going up tomorrow. I know that's right. I'm not putting in my Christmas tree, though. I'm not doing that yet. I might put a couple of things because I have a lot of Christmas stuff. So I need to start early. All right? I need to start early. And plus, I have BravoCon. I have a busy couple of weeks coming up. All right? So I gotta start ahead if I want to get all my stuff out. All right? So Flavor Flav performed the national anthem, and it went viral. But to be honest with you, it wasn't. I wish I could play it for you, but you know that's a copyrighted song. We can't play that. However, I'm sure you saw it. I didn't think it was that bad. It was Flavor Flav in his own voice. And look, the Star Spangled Banner is hard to sing. But he did it in his range. Look, what's his range, Kevin? He did it in his range. Y'all remember Fergie's version? There's been some terrible versions. But I didn't think his was that bad. Anyone else? All right. There was another good news story. I can't remember. I meant to write it down and I completely forgot to write it down. It's okay. We'll talk about it at some point. But because we normally jump into 90 Day Fiancé before we talk about some of these other shows, I want to first off, since we were just talking about House of Villains, I'll just mention a little bit because I haven't watched, I was literally in the middle, almost finished watching the latest episode of House of Villains. It started off good. This past week we had Danielle Staub stop by. You remember Danielle Staub, right? From Real Housewives of New Jersey? Well, apparently she's still in the good graces of NBC Universal because this is an NBC Universal show. So, the show is okay. Like, I feel like everyone is such a caricature of themselves that they're not entertaining. I have to say, Tiffany Pollard for me is very entertaining and interesting. I will also say that, Delsonia says that Roseanne Barr's version was the worst. It was. That was so long ago at this point. I don't even think people remember that. But I already told you about Bobby Lights last week. I just feel like he's doing too much. He thinks that this is Love and Hip Hop. I really do like Omarosa on the show. I think she's good reality TV still. Like, there's just something very entertaining and interesting about her. I don't know. Look, I don't know. Bananas, I don't mind him as much. Like, I'm like on the fence about the show because I feel like they're trying to be like Big Brother, and it's not quite there. It's not quite there. But I like the concept. Like I said before, former Real Housewives of New Jersey star Danielle Staub came in as the devil. They played this game where they were all dressed up in robes and different masks, and they had voice changers on. So someone had to, everyone had to kind of figure out who is who. Johnny Bananas won that one, right? So he's the king villain of the week. Sherry says that Bobby's doing too much. Yeah, but he always does too much. I said this last week. I just never understood the fascination with him. But some of you last week, like, oh, I love Bobby Lights. Okay, teach their own. I don't get it. I don't get it. We get a lot of fake on reality TV. When it's obvious fake, it's like, okay. But I'm going to keep watching and see how I feel. Alex says, I love Tanisha. I feel like Tanisha's great reality TV, but I feel like she's sort of faded in the background when there's so many big personalities in this house. Anyone else? Like, there were a couple of moments I was like, oh, Tanisha's there. But for the most part, like, for me, she pales in comparison to the other villains on this show. But I'm going to keep in and out, very much like how we've been doing 90 Day The Last Resort. I didn't even watch this week's episode of 90 Day The Last Resort, so I'll skip it this week. But I told you I'm not that invested because everyone else's story is lame and fake to me. But House of Villains, how are you guys feeling about it? If you had to rate House of Villains so far from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? I probably would give it a 6. And I think I'm being nice about the 6. It's okay. I love the fact that they're bringing other villains onto the show, but if you're going to bring Danielle Staub, why is she not like a permanent house guest? You know what I mean? Instead of just coming in. Maybe next season? Sequoia says, when New York made Jax cry. Jax is not a villain. I think he's a villain for reality TV's sake, but I don't think he's a real villain. I think he's just a terrible person. There's a difference. There's a difference between a reality TV villain, because I don't believe that they're really evil people. They just are good TV like that. I don't think Jax is that. I think he's just a terrible person and less than smart. In my opinion. Deborah says, I felt bad for Jax. Well, Jax is gone. Yeah. I'm still on the fence whether or not I'm going to attend the Vanderpump Rules panel. There are quite a few. I already told you. You know what I'm not going to attend? Since we were talking about Danielle Staub, let's talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm not attending the Real Housewives of New Jersey panels. They have 2 separate panels. And they had this last year at BravoCon, but I said, I'm not attending either one because I'm team me all day, every day. I don't know these people. You don't know these people. I don't get it. The toxicity of the Real Housewives of New Jersey fandom has already begun, and the season hasn't even aired. So they just wrapped filming for the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and apparently there was some sort of fight between Teresa and Melissa Gorga, and they have not even spoken all season long. But apparently there was some sort of issue. So our friends write this over at realityt.com in regards to Melissa and Joe Gorga's children unfollowing Teresa on social media. So they said, if there's one show we can't wait to see return, it's the Real Housewives of New Jersey. They said, as you know, it's been nothing but drama since last season, and in a shocking turn of events, alliances are shifting. Jackie, I'm not anyone else sort of looking at Jackie with the side eye, especially because she looked so thirsty last season, and I thought in our heads that she wasn't as thirsty. We thought that she was like the grounded one of this entire cast. Like fame wasn't that important to her. And I'm not saying that she couldn't naturally become friends with Teresa, but I feel like that would have happened over the last few years of you being on the show. Like, I feel like this is just your way of securing your position on the show. I don't feel like it's real or authentic, but we shall see. I will eat crow, not literally, if it feels authentic when we see the season play out. But from what we were hearing, and I've told you this before, that they were saying that the cast feels very divided. Our friends at Bravo and Cocktails even reported that production was considering doing 2 separate shows. Very much like the 2 separate panels, that I'm not going to be attending either one. At this point, I feel as if this cast cannot sit on a panel together, it's time to really start getting rid of some people. Because you can't have a cast divided like this and then have 2 separate panels at BravoCon. Why are they so special? Why are they so special that we are getting 2 separate panels because of them? They should be able to sit on that panel, answer fan questions, talk about the season, like everyone else. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It didn't make sense to me last BravoCon, and it definitely doesn't make sense this BravoCon, especially because now they're shifting. Danielle Cabral was supposed to be with Teresa and that group, and they switched it. Now Jackie's going to be with Teresa and that group, and Danielle's going to be with the Gorgas group. So they are literally setting up the same divisiveness that the fandom has been in regards to, you're either Team Melissa or you're Team Teresa. Really? Exactly, Miss Esquire. She says, what kind of president does that set? I'm annoyed by it. And like I said, because of it, and I would love to attend the Real Housewives of New Jersey panel. One panel where everyone is there. However, I'm not going to attend either one. No, I'm not attending either one. Me personally, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. You do what you want if you're at BravoCon. But I'm not attending either one because I don't like it. I will attend Atlanta. I'll attend Potomac. I'll attend Beverly Hills, as long as it's not a stampede like last year. You remember that? I remember last year, the fans were running towards the Beverly Hills panel. I ran the other way because I was like, I'm not running towards the crowd. Something's going on here. I'm not running towards the crowd. Nope. Anyway, so back to this. They said, of course, Teresa is paying dust to Melissa Gorga, which some think is fantastic news, but that's not all. Danielle Cabral, who used to roll with Tree and Jennifer Aiden, jumped ship to hang with Margaret Josephs and Rachel Fuda. Jackie Goldschneider, who has been fiercely loyal to Marge and Melissa Gorga, teased her feud with her former besties earlier this year as well. And seriously, that's not it. We still have Dolores Catania, Jen Fessler, and the House Husbands, but we don't have time for it here. We've got to jump straight into the mess. So they said this in regards to the finale drama. They said, as they've been reporting this entire season, Melissa and Teresa are not rocking with each other. Well, it's more like Teresa isn't messing with Melissa, and that means the Gorgas have nobody to play with. Apparently, Teresa has said next to nothing to Melissa or Joe Gorga while filming for the last season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. All right? But according to All About the Real Housewives, that changed while filming the finale. because we haven't heard any intermingling between the Gorgas and Teresa during the filming of the season. The last thing that we reported on or talked about was this fight between Danielle Cabral and Jennifer Aiden, which apparently someone got cut, Jennifer Aiden, and then they were put on pause, but then they started filming again. So they said Danielle and Jennifer Aiden have been at each other's necks for a while. Some physical altercation took place while filming that put both of them on pause while the network conducted an investigation. But that didn't stop them from continuing to fire at each other. Something happened at the finale that caused the rest of the ladies to react. It's being reported that Melissa jumped into the conversation, but it wasn't long before Teresa told her to shut the F up. All right? So apparently Melissa and Joe Gorgas hit the unfollow button for their Zia tree. All right. Following the finale, the Gorga children seemingly unfollowed their aunt Teresa on Instagram. The Gorga family may have realized that Teresa had closed the door on their relationship and that it was over. There were also rumors that Teresa may have called Melissa a whore. I had to say it in the Jersey way, a whore, during filming for the finale. Teresa said last season that she was cutting all ties with her brother. She says, I need to heal myself. I've been through a lot the past 10 years with them. I'm happy for them. I wish them well. And I wish they'd wish me the same back. Okay, she says, I'm focusing on my family, my daughters, on my stepsons, and on my husband. Speaking of the husband, because I thought you guys know I'm fair. We got to report and follow up to you in regards to, remember his ex. Well, he has a lot of exes, and I told you guys, I feel as if these exes have been fishing stuff to blogs and things like that for a while now. And I kept on saying, you guys don't have to do anything to make Louis Ruelas look bad. Let him do it himself. He does it all the time. He puts his foot in his mouth on the show all the time. Just let him do it himself. But I always felt like there were multiple people, specifically this ex, that was trying to get him and fishing stuff to blogs. I've said that countless times. But I also told you, because this last ex made an accusation, and I said, normally I don't report on everything Real Housewives of New Jersey, but I said these accusations are Lifetime movie ready, because she accused him of stalking her and sending in a fake patient to get information out on her. Okay, let me read. Look. I did a whole separate video on this. Be sure to check that out. We're not going to rehash. But I wanted to give you an update because Louis had a legal win. Come on. Okay? So a New Jersey judge ruled that Louis Ruelas' favor in his case against ex-fiancée Vanessa Reiser, who previously accused him, quote, of stalking. They said the court not only dismissed Ms. Reiser's complaint and denied her application for a permanent restraining order, but also found that she was, quote, obsessed with Mr. Not obsessed. They said that but also found that she was obsessed with Mr. Ruelas, continuously bothering he and his family. Attorney Marco LaRocca, who represented Ruelas alongside lawyer Christopher Arani, tells Page 6 exclusively. So in essence, the court held that the filing of the restraining order was akin to a publicity stunt.
Lies! The lies!
So his attorney continues, says Louis was completely vindicated today and looks forward to putting this all behind him. We thank the court for its lengthy, well-reasoned, and factually supported opinion. Reiser's attorney, Douglas Anton, meanwhile tells Page 6 exclusively that his client is, quote, relieved over the findings. Our goal was always her protection by exposing the truth about Louis' offensive conduct. All right? Sidebar, this is the same attorney that represented R. Kelly. Well, then there's...
Lies!
Okay. I mean, look. So indeed, for her protection, we were obsessed. Not... with proving Louis did this invasive thing so that he never does it again. Vanessa feels completely vindicated and now protected by having outed him for his offensive conduct. A girl, girl. This is a perfect story to talk about on Halloween. Happy Halloween to anyone celebrating, all right? He says this man is delusional as she is. Okay, so Reiser, who dated Ruelas from 2018 to 2020 before he married Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice, claimed earlier this year that the businessman hired a private investigator to spy on her at work. The licensed therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse. Look. Anyways, read between the lines, okay? Believed that one of her female patients was probing her with questions about her ex during their sessions. Here's the thing, and I'm not sure if I said this back then, but I'm thinking it now. How do we know that this person that came in as a fake therapist wasn't a fan? It had nothing to do with Louis, but just was a fan. The way that some of these New Jersey look, we're fans of Real Housewives of New Jersey, but these fanatics of New Jersey, some of these folks that are a little, touch some grass. How do we know they didn't do that on their own? We said this about the whole bot situation on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. How do we know it wasn't just a fan doing this on their own? But I can understand why Vanessa might think he might have something to do with it, especially after Louis claimed and then backtracked that he hired that guy, that private investigator, to look up information on the cast. So I can understand why she might think this. So Anton told Page Six at the time that some of the alleged intrusive questions were, do you still love Louis? How was it with your abuser? What? And if Ruelas were to leave his wife, Teresa, and show any regret, would you want to be with him? This is a Lifetime movie waiting to be made. Why are they not making this one? So, Page Six writes, it says, he also told us in June, right now, Reiser is concerned that it was Ruelas behind the woman's visits. And again, I'm going by the questions. He is unhappy in his current situation and wanted to see if Vanessa would ever pay him the time of day. And now alleges to Page Six that during the trial, a CEO for a claimed investigator by Bo Dietl issued a testimony that proved Ruelas hired the former police detective to collect information. However, it's unclear if Reiser was the target of those alleged investigations. Dietl previously denied to Page Six that he had looked into any housewives, but declined to comment on Ruelas' ex. As far as whether he hired us for potential private investigations, that's confidentiality, the former NYPD detective said. And claims that Ruelas gagged witnesses during the trial, giving the court limited facts before the ruling, and that the father of two hid behind the Fifth Amendment to not incriminate himself. Here's the thing, Vanessa, and I've said this before because we've talked about this on the Real Housewives of New Jersey recaps. I keep saying that you guys don't have to do anything to make Louis look bad, but I have said there has been a calculated effort. I don't know by which exes, but definitely I believe you've been a part of it too, to get information to blogs, to get the information to me, to bring it up and talk about it. And I haven't jumped on in any of the things that you guys have sent me. I haven't. There have been plenty of stuff that has been sent to me that still hasn't made the light of day. That I was just like, okay, what's your intention in sending this to me? If you are a therapist, I'm not saying that she sent it, but if you are a therapist, I think this can't be healthy. Just saying. Just a thought. And I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm not saying that he's completely innocent, because I don't believe that Louis is completely innocent either. But it is giving. Seven, where have you been? I haven't seen Seven, this name, in so long. Thank you so much for the super chat. Seven says, very anti-black in my opinion that they're rushing to reboot Real Housewives of Atlanta, but letting this nonsense with Real Housewives of New Jersey carry on like this. Shaking my head. Hey, Campire, miss you, Bookie. I was about to say I haven't seen you in so long. Thank you so much for the super chat. I mean, you bring up valid points. here's the slight difference. Here I go twerking on a fence. A slight difference. New Jersey's numbers, ratings have been pretty consistent and have been decent for the franchise. But I've already said this. Them putting their eggs in the Teresa basket is going to hurt them in the long run. And I hate the fact that, as I said before, that this BravoCon panel, it has been separated. It shouldn't have been separated last year. It shouldn't be separated this year. They should all be able to sit down and have a conversation about the season and about the show. I feel like they are also encouraging the fandom to be as toxic as it is. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says Danielle threw a glass at Jennifer Aiden, but it didn't hit Jennifer. Well, I heard it wasn't even a glass, like it was a plastic cup. Like we won't know until the season airs. We won't really know until the season airs. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Also, the good news. I forgot this was my good news. I'm sorry. As you know, we've been raising money all month long for Black Women's Health Imperative in honor of Black Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we reached our goal of over $2,500. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to everyone that donated or shared or told someone to donate. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys for supporting us again this month. All of your donation, you can still donate. Today's the last day. You can still donate. Check out one of our last videos. Thank you to everyone that donated. It's going to help tremendously. 100% of your donation goes to Black Women's Health Imperative. Thank you to YouTube for giving 100% of YouTube giving to the organizations. All right. Nash. Here Nash goes with Kara Huger's what you call it? Tagline. There we go. Words. Nash says, Kempire, you aren't riding the fence. You are the fence. They ride you. Okay, you know what? That's a perfect segue. That is a perfect segue because Candiace Dillard Bassett is back in the news this week. Speaking of her tagline, you know, she's like the first housewife to sing her tagline. All right. She's not the first housewife to have singing in her tagline. She's the first housewife to sing her tagline. Because you remember Kandi, I forgot what season it was. She had singing in her promo, in her intro. But Candiace was receiving a lot of backlash, apparently. I didn't see the backlash until she responded to the backlash. And she's receiving backlash because people are like, it's annoying. I mean, after listening to it, I can see how it could be annoying, but I normally fast forward or don't even pay attention to the taglines once they are airing the episode. I really do not pay attention. But maybe I will pay attention now that every time it airs, we're going to hear the singing. I saw Candiace on TikTok Live with Chris the other night, and she was singing on there. Candiace has a nice voice. I don't think Candiace is a bad singer, especially when we talk about some of the other housewives that are singers in the housewives world. She's not a bad singer. I think she's an inconsistent singer, meaning that every time she sings, it's not necessarily the best. But I feel like with a pre-produced intro like that, it could have been better. You know what I mean? It could have been better. Stronger. But she was clapping back at you guys, letting you guys know, you're going to keep hearing it. It's supposed to be fun. Da-da-da-da. I don't know if it was the best choice, but okay. I mean, LA said that people are doing a lot. Alex is reminding us, he says, Kandi, I may be small, ooh, but my empire keeps growing. Oh, my goodness. All right. I'm not done talking about Candiace and Real Housewives of Potomac. As you know, the new season of the Real Housewives of Potomac premieres on November 5th, the same night as Married to Medicine. And there's a lot. You know, I've avoided talking about the cheating scandal that never was in regards to Chris Bassett. As I said to you before, I was watching Chris Bassett on TikTok Live randomly because I swipe through TikTok Lives. I love that feature that you can just kind of swipe and you're just you find random people from around the world live, either battling each other, talking about something, doing nails, or doing the fake, AI thing. And usually I swipe through those. Or you find people selling crystals and things like that, or selling luxury bags. Like, it's a lot of stuff happening on TikTok. So I'm swiping through, and I fall upon Chris Bassett on his TikTok Live. And he's making jokes about the rumors. So as you know, Tasha K said that she had conducted an interview with this woman, and she did say that this woman was inebriated, and this woman said that she had some sort of sexual relations with Chris Bassett. But after hearing the interview and seeing the proof, it just wasn't connecting for me. It wasn't connecting like the Robyn Dixion situation with the woman in Canada. Well, Robyn and Gizelle decided to talk about this on their podcast. Let me play a clip for you guys, and then we'll get into what Candiace had to say. Hold on.
You know, I know people are probably going to try to say, "Oh, we need more proof. We need more proof." I've seen enough to kind of know that something was done that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
Something was done that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
Be careful how you respond or react to other people's drama.
Yep.
Because your ass might be caught up in some similar shit.
Hello. And when your friends try to tell you about your husband, you might want to listen.
Right, and not get so upset and turn to a victim and you try to...
Yes.
I mean, these guys are so stupid. Like, why do they even entertain these women? And when I say guys, I'm speaking from my own as well. Why do they entertain these thirsty women who are fans?
I'm not going to talk about yours. I'm not going to talk about one, but I'm just going to say some of these guys are miserable, unhappy,
right?
Unhappy at home.
They need attention.
Yes.
They need... A Bravo fan account tried to bring this to our attention a long time ago.
Yeah, months.
Before we started filming, they were bringing attention of a number of things surrounding this gentleman, and we decided to ignore it.
Right.
To not talk about it.
Thank
to
you,
not
Gizelle.
bring it
Thank
up.
you, Robyn.
To not say anything.
We didn't say a word.
We didn't say one thing. But,
You're welcome.
But,
So apparently, they believe these rumors. Those rumors about Chris Bassett, for me, still has no credibility. There has been no solid proof. The woman has been caught out there in lies, inconsistencies. Look, and you know, it doesn't matter who's on this cast. If there are rumors, we talked about Happy Eddie at one point too. I just don't feel like there was any solid proof here. The woman sounded either inebriated or unwell. I'm not sure. But for me, it felt like there is no smoke here. Well, anyway, so Candiace did not respond to this for a while. However, she did post a tweet, which I felt as if was somewhat of a response. So let me get into what Candiace said on her social media just the other day. So Candiace posted this tweet, and she said, "If you would just shut the F up and worry about your boyfriends for hire and cheating husbands, you wouldn't have to post, quote, proof that you weren't behind yet another plot against someone's family. Once again, the people of God are tired." We are tired. But I'm guessing that these folks are still not in a good place. Robyn and Candiace are still not in a good place. All right. I'm just like... Anyways, where can we go from here? Well, let's talk about this expose from Vanity Fair that came out. All right. So as you know, there was an expose yesterday. And again, for those that are just joining us, I apologize to our members of the channel. I did say that I wanted to go live and read it with you guys yesterday. I just did not have the time. But first of all, the pictures were beautiful. The pictures from this Vanity Fair situation were beautiful. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't pull up the picture of our girl, Leah McSweeney. Not our girl, Leah McSweeney. Because if you've been following, she wasn't our girl. But I did feel for Leah McSweeney, and she looks great too. Let me pull up a picture of Leah. Let me be nice to Leah today. Hold on. Let me pull up a picture of Leah McSweeney. Hold on. Let me pull up a picture of Leah. All right. Leah deserves a picture too. Okay. All right. Leah looked good. Leah looked good. So she talked about her time of being on the Real Housewives of New York. All right. I read the article. All right. It was a long article. It featured conversations with Leah McSweeney, Ebony K. Williams. It also featured responses from Ramona Singer. First off, Leah McSweeney said that she filed a complaint with the EEO here in New York in regards to them violating workplace discrimination and things like that. So she had filed a complaint after Ultimate Girls Trip. You remember we recapped and talked about it, where she was very like sick and ill while she was there. So it seemed as if at the time of her filming Ultimate Girls Trip, it was sort of being hovered over her that maybe she would be on Real Housewives of New York Legacy. At the time, that was going to be a separate show. It wasn't going to be an Ultimate Girls Trip. It subsequently became an Ultimate Girls Trip. All right? So she talked about that. Then Ebony K. Williams, and we've covered Ebony K. Williams and some of the investigations and why we did not get a Real Housewives of New York reunion. We talked about that. Well, it gets a little bit more detail. According to this article from Vanity Fair, they're saying that Ramona used the N-word and that it was substantiated on a call with Ebony K. Williams. And the chief diversity officer was there because the lawyer that does not represent NBCU said that she did use the word, but she was not using the word against the producer that she said it in front of. She was using it as some sort of example. So the diversity officer had to be like, you're not going to sit here and sort of justify the use of the N-word to a black woman. Not only that, that's not the only thing that we found out about Ramona. Ramona was responding. When she probably should have said no comment, she was responding to Vanity Fair when they reached out for comment. She also, because they did like a whole prep for Ebony K. Williams to be on the show, so they were having the cast and diversity training and things like that. So at one point, I forgot what the example was, but Ramona was like, so why can't I say that someone doesn't have a father? Because she's like, I read an article somewhere where a lot of black people don't have fathers. Like it's a statistic. You already know how Ramona is. And she doubled down on that. She's like, I read an article. And if you thought, because I have to say, I did have the thought. I was like, well, does this mean that Ebony K. Williams might be working with Bethany? Let me read to you exactly what Ebony K. Williams said at the end of this article. For me, the way they ended this article, sidebar, Bethany Frankel did say that, because a lot of people, including myself, were criticizing the article because it felt not complete. It felt like there wasn't enough information. It felt like there was a big hype around this article being sort of like this smoking gun, and it really kind of fell flat. It fell flat. All right. However, let me read to you what Ebony K. Williams said in regards to possibly working with Bethany on the, reality TV Reckoning. She said this. Hold on. This is a long article. I had to scroll all the way down. Hold on, y'all, because it's like the second to last paragraph or something like that. Hold on. Where is it? I got to read it to you because it made me go, oh, hell. I was not prepared for that. All right. So they said this. Of her mission to remake the medium that made her, Frankel says it's my penance. So they put in parentheses, they are so shady. Let me just bring up Ebony K. Williams because she looks fabulous in this picture. They said, presented with the idea she might participate in Frankel's organizing, Ebony K. Williams says, F Bethany Frankel. You think I'm going to let some white girl speak for me with my experience with a multi-billion-dollar corporation? I was not ready for that. I was like, where did that come from? But I'm kind of glad they kept it in there because I did think after they did this article together, I was like, oh, well, maybe they came together as a united front against Bravo. Apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently not. But it was a good read. But like I said, by the end of it, first of all, we did find out that Leah McSweeney, she says that when she signed on for Real Housewives of New York, she was making $3,000 per episode. Did they have, I forgot how many episodes they had in season 13. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. That's actually less than what we heard the new ladies of Real Housewives of New York are making. Word on the street, they're making $100,000 for this season. But she could have made $250,000 for Ultimate Girls Trip for 1 week of work. That's reportedly what the RHONJ Legacy Ultimate Girls Trip ladies made. But now after this article specifically about Ramona and the things that she did behind the scenes, which we've talked about before. I told you this was part of the reason why they decided, schedule issues is why we're not going to have the reunion for RHONJ, that season 13 reunion. But now Ramona's set to come back on Watch What Happens Live. She was just on there recently. She's also supposed to star in Ultimate Girls Trip RHONJ Legacy. That season's coming. They keep saying coming soon. I think they kept on saying coming soon because they weren't sure what this article would do. But I see a lot of you guys in the comment section of the different posts about this. And I'm like, wow, a lot of you feel as if this was a big fail for Vanity Fair. The live chat, you're free to have your opinion here. Those of you that are watching on TikTok, do you feel like the Vanity, and you have to read the entire article because some of y'all just reading snippets and articles about it. All right. So I want to hear from the people that actually read the full article. I want to know, do you feel like, well, according to Bethany on her social media said that the author of this article said that there is more to come, that this is a small portion of what's to come in regards to this reality TV reckoning. Kay says that Ebony has said that she thinks Bethany is only doing this for her benefit. Okay. But like I said before, I feel like a lot of people that have been defending Bravo in the fandom, I feel as if people don't realize that both can exist, where you cannot like Bethany, but what she's fighting for when it comes to reality TV stars' rights can exist in the same space. And I know a lot of people have said their justification for some of what the women describe in this article and other interviews in regards to they choose to sign up for this. They choose to do this. Here's the thing, y'all. And maybe this is the HR background in me coming in. Although you choose the job that you're in. We all choose the jobs that we're in. But the working conditions have to be policed. They have to be consistent with the laws of your country, your state, your city. We all choose our jobs. We all do. But reality TV does not have, just because you're signing up for reality TV doesn't mean that you're signing up for a toxic work environment. You get what I'm saying? So I see that narrative and that same, they know what they're signing up for. Do they? Because it's one thing to see what we see, an edited version of what plays out on television versus what they experience behind the scenes. You know what I mean? High Vibe says that I choose my job, but I shouldn't tolerate abuse. But how many people that we know stay in a job because they need that job, they need that money, they need to survive. They stay in that job because they need it. And it might not be the most healthy environment. Just saying. I just like, forever twerking on the fence. Religiously. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover. This is where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. It is Halloween, so happy Halloween to anyone that celebrates. Wait.
Okay.
All right. Let me get to some reality TV talk. Let me get into some 90 Day Fiancé because I feel like we've covered a lot of Bravo related news. If you're just joining us, guys, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We already have almost 1,000 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to those of you that are watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and those of you watching on TikTok. We appreciate you being here. Sister on the Move says on our TikTok, she says, saw it every day with scripted television. That's like saying that same thing to people that work in Hollywood. Oh, you know what you're signing up for. You know what Hollywood is like. Does that make it right? Shouldn't we be trying to make it better? Right? In some way? People say that about the music industry. You know what you're signing up for. Doesn't make it right. I don't know. All right. Jasmine says, that's true. A lot of people don't have the luxury to walk away from a job, especially after you're in it. And what some of these former reality stars are accusing Bravo and NBC Universal of is sort of like their contracts have kept them quiet from talking about what they've experienced. Why can't you do reality TV and it be a healthy, fun job? Why can't those two exist? Just asking for a friend. The friend is me. Sharon, thank you so much for another super chat. Sharon says, Kempire, she did it again at the finale. This was the second time. I can't even remember what we were talking about, Sharon, but thank you for the super chat. You'll have to remind me. You don't have to send a super chat. Just remind me in the chat. Just remind me in the chat. All right. Let's move on to 90 Day Fiancé because, y'all, I don't have a lot to say about 90 Day Fiancé, the premiere show, not the spinoffs. Jasmine and Gino, I will say this. I would like for us to have at least 2 or 3 episodes where she's not screaming and getting into a fight. This episode, she wasn't screaming. She was sort of like tame this episode. But as you know, she admitted that she got $2,000 from her ex-boyfriend to get the butt surgery. And she said, she does these things to her body because she's insecure. Okay. Gino is pretending to be mad. Because let's be honest, Gino is scared of Jasmine, right? Gino is scared of Jasmine. I think we're all a little scared of Jasmine, aren't we? Especially when she has those clips in her hair. We're all a little scared of Jasmine. But I don't believe it when he gets upset with her about her spending this money. We have a lot of things going on. And I said to you, I was like, why is this man quitting his job? Even if they have a co-sponsor for the K1 visa, you still need to survive. You still need to live. And I feel like this is just a plot. This is just confirmed for me that he quit his job because he's making money off this show. And I know some of you are like, it's not a lot. They don't get paid a lot. Yeah, but between the pay for the reality show, the cost of living of where he lives, and the little sponsored posts and things that they do and cameos that they do, he's probably making more money doing that than he was doing his job. But I've never really believed this relationship. Ever. I never believed this relationship. So they've made peace this week, but next week she's back to screaming at him. There's such a double standard when it comes to Jasmine and Gino's relationship. God forbid he was to have an ex pay for anything. Give him a bus pass. A bus pass? Where bus passes come from? Or, you know what I mean? God forbid an ex gave him anything, a call. She would lose her mind. But you have an ex that you allegedly may have slept with. I think she slept with him. Giving you $2,000 to get your butt situation done? Girl. Because if you read between the lines, you're sort of like, why would he pay for something like that if you guys weren't together? Oh, it's your friend. She said it was a loan that turned into a gift. Oh, I bet. Can you guys remind me who the couple in the middle's name is? I can never remember their names. I'm so sorry. Every week I said I'm gonna learn their names. I am just so distracted by her bad wigs. And I never talk about people's hair because look. But her wigs are so bad. Well, this week she says to him that she doesn't want to have children, and he literally gets emotional. He tears up about not having kids. This is the Mama Ali. This is the actual 90 Day Fiancé. This is the original show, the OG show. He gets teared up and he gets very upset with her at the fact that she doesn't want to have children. Yes, the British girl. Yes, Miss Go on TikTok. The British girl with the not the witness protection wigs. But apparently, according to his sister Sophie, thank you, Sophie. What's his name? Let me put their names in here somewhere. Sophie and his name. I don't like him though. Here's the thing, and it might be from last week. Sophie and Rob. Thank you, Jasmine. Here's the thing. From last week, the way that he reacts. I understand you want to have children. This is an important conversation to have before you decide to get into a serious relationship, before you have someone come over on a K1 visa. But his toxic behavior from last week's episode, I'm just looking at him with the side eye. He seems controlling. There's a big age gap between these two. He's 32, she's 23. So I can understand why she's not necessarily thinking about having children, but she might not be able to have kids based on what his sister said. Like physically, she might not be able to have children. But that's such an important conversation to have before getting married. But here's the thing, sir. How about we get you out of an apartment with an outhouse? Look, in the middle of LA. Like, how about we work on that before we talk about children? You know what I mean? But his reaction is on the level of a 23-year-old. Like, he's very immature. For me, she seems a little bit more mature than he is. But that's a lot with women. Women are a lot more mature than men. Kaboom, I agree. He's a jerk. Kaboom says he's a jerk. That pretty boy face only gets you so far. Agreed. He showed himself last week, his behavior. He's very controlling. Exactly. Jasmine said he's so controlling and hot-headed. I don't see this relationship working in the long run, to be honest with you. I really don't. She should not marry this man, but I think she might. Right? Oof. So we had that happen this week in regards to their storyline. Oh, wrong one. Look, in regards to their storyline. We still haven't met this other couple on the right. We did meet, oh, damn it, I can't remember his name. It's unimportant. His story so far hasn't gotten interesting. He's from Korea. His girlfriend's from Arkansas. And he has like a Dorit accent. It's like a mix of Korean and Australian. He calls his girlfriend Piggy. So we're going to call her Piggy, not in a derogatory way. That's his nickname for her. This week, in regards to their story, not much to say. We shall see next week in regards to when she meets the family, because the family wants him to marry a Korean girl, not an American. Minnesota Coco says he's controlling, but so is Sophie. She's a little bratty. Well, she also comes from, a privileged lifestyle, so she's not used to living the way that he's living. She's used to being taken care of. The preview for next week, she's getting really emotional. She's like, I'm stuck here. No, you're not. You can go home. Sophie, I wonder if she does go home. I would go home. I probably would have went home after I would have saw my living conditions. But she already knew. She already knew before even getting there, the living conditions. But I was like, no, that's not going to work for me, sir. That's not going to work for me. All right, let me move on because we got to talk about this. Ashley. Something's very suspicious about Ashley's fiance. The family's calling her off the hook. She got him a brand new phone, but he's like, I need internet. Doesn't the phone have internet? I guess he needs unlimited, maybe? I was so confused by their conversation, but the way she's making it seems as if she doesn't trust this man that she's known for quite a few years. But if he's lying to his family back in Ecuador, what makes you think he's not going to lie to you? They end up FaceTiming one of his cousins, and she's like, I want to know why you're calling so much. She's like, we haven't heard from him. We want to know that he's okay. There's something very suspicious about Ashley's boyfriend. I enjoy Ashley, though. Ashley, to me, is like perfect TLC. 90 Day Fiancé. She's kooky, funny, delusional. But yeah. I don't understand what's going on. I didn't expect this, especially because it seemed as if they had a solid relationship. But now, this is why I always say with 90 Day Fiancé, we have to just wait before we make a solid judgment on any of these folks. We have to wait because more stuff comes out. And he doesn't seem trustworthy. He seems a little shady. And she's known this man for years. Here's another shady relationship I'm not too sure about. Nikki and Justin, Igor. So we already found out that she's sort of like his sugar mama, pays for everything. So at first, I did not feel for Nikki. I felt like she was being annoying for no reason. I felt like she was doing too much too soon until she started giving us a little bit more backstory on her relationship with Justin, Igor. I feel as if he does treat her a little differently. I just don't understand why she remained in this relationship. So some people are a little confused by their story. This is their second K1 visa. The first K1 visa, he came to live with Nikki in New York, and they got into a big fight. Things weren't working out, and that's when Nikki revealed to him that she was born a man. There's also a big age gap between Nikki and Igor. So I already seen what some of the 90 Day Fiancé fans have been saying about Nikki grooming Justin Igor. I don't know about that, but what I do know, I don't understand why Nikki has stayed in this relationship or why they rekindled this relationship if you felt as if he was treating you differently ever since you told him you were born a boy. I'm a little confused by that. Because when we see them together in Moldova, it seems like he does truly love Nikki. So one of their biggest battles in this episode of 90 Day Fiancé is how long it takes Nikki to get dressed. And he's like, I would prefer if you just were natural. And she's like, I don't prefer myself natural. And apparently it takes her 3 hours to get done up. I don't know about this couple. I don't know if this is going to last. Because she also, she's said multiple times that she wants more affection from him. She wants more intimacy from him. The first night that Nikki was there, they didn't sleep together. And he's like, it was because we were tired. Okay. But based on what Nikki has given us in regards to the backstory, it starts to make, at first I was looking at Nikki like, you're doing too much too soon. But apparently this has been consistent. Like this has been an issue for a while. We shall see. I mean, I have to say, the 90 Day Fiancé, their newest season, I'm still engaged with. Certain stories, I'm sort of like, Jasmine and Gino, we've already sort of seen this already, and it's like the same thing over and over again. It's the hamster wheel of the same thing. So I'm sort of like over watching that. But people like Ashley keep me engaged. People like the Nikki and Justin situation, I'm kind of engaged. I am 2 steps out, but you already know there are 2 new couples that are coming. 2 new couples that we already introduced this week to one of the couples. We have another couple that's coming next week, which I'm glad for because it will kind of mix things up. That's a problem. The Nikki and Justin situation, if you think that in your mind that you can buy someone's love, please understand eventually they will want real love. You can buy someone's love temporarily, but ultimately, you can't buy someone's love. And I feel like that's what she was trying to do with Igor. Buy his love. Like, she takes care of his life in Moldova. So she probably also expects certain things. Well. All right, let's move on because there is a lot to unpack in regards to the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. Let's move on to 90 Day The Other Way. Let's talk about Holly. So, Holly's in South Africa, and we've talked about it. She got married, but now she's sort of regretting moving to South Africa because she feels very alone. She can't go out by herself. Her new husband is working all the time because of his finance issues. I actually felt for damn it, where is her picture? Holly, there we go. I actually felt for Holly this week because I was like, it's one thing to fall in love with someone, and then it's another thing to actually live abroad in a city where, first of all, you can't go around because it is dangerous. You guys have said that to me before. There are, she's not working. She doesn't have any friends there. Her mom just left. So I kind of felt for her, but now next week's episode, she's already saying to him, I can't do this. I'm here all the time by myself. And she says she never used to be alone here in America when she was home. She always had her mom. She had her friends. She doesn't have any of that. I felt for her this week. Look at me being sensitive. No, because it's a reality. If you move to a whole new country, a new city, you don't have any friends besides your partner, that's not enough. You have to have your own full life outside of your partner, and she doesn't have that. And although she's close with his sister lives far away as well. So it's starting to get with her. Get to her. All right. Someone sent me the video of, first of all, let me tell you something. Armando and Kenny next week meet their surrogate, and the surrogate's crying. I said, y'all don't get off my show with all of this crying. Gosh. It's all right. But yeah, we will see next week Kenny and Armando meet their surrogate. Before we get into Danielle and Johan and that situation, we still have not gotten to the scene that I want to get to. They are just leading us. They are just literally just leading us into that direction. And I'm just like, are we there yet? No, not quite. Let's talk about Brandon and Mary. So Brandon and Mary, someone linked me to a video of Brandon and Mary on live. And apparently they were arguing and fighting. He's still playing games. They're not getting along. Well, this week's episode, Brandon's mom is in town, and Brandon's mom is speaking for all of us. That you guys are too young. You're not ready to have a child. You're not ready to be married. The child is already on the way. Look, there are rumors on the street that the child is not his. I don't know if that's true or not. I just don't understand this couple. I didn't understand this couple from the beginning when they were separate. And they were always on live together. They were always on FaceTime together, even when he was taking a poop. All right? So this week, the mom is there. The mom is getting settled in, but the mom and Mary don't get along. Well, Mary's scared of the mom. She needed to be scared of somebody because I feel like she was ruling over Brandon. And I think Mary is not used to having someone that might give her pushback. Especially when it comes to her relationship with Brandon. So I'm kind of happy the mom is there. And I'm sure that Brandon also is kind of happy that the mom is there because I'm sure Mary sort of like pulled back in regards to what, how she was treating him. I don't think he's innocent either. Please understand that because I did see that IG live where they were arguing and he was like playing games and doing all this other stuff. But she's not innocent. I feel she's emotionally manipulative in her own way, Mary. And now she sort of pulled back because his mom is there. And the mom she means business. And she's not trying to hug Mary. She's not trying to be friends with Mary. She probably feels how we felt about Mary as well. Emotionally manipulative. Sister on the Move on TikTok says, he's not innocent. She quit school because of him. Why she quit school? Here's the thing, though. Are we really quitting school because of a partner, or is that a choice you made on your own? The same way he made a choice to come to the Philippines. So I'm not going to say that she needs to do anything in regards to help him survive. Sister Moose said, "Oh, it's jealousy, allegedly." So they're both because they're like 20-something years old. This is their emotional immaturity. I'm so over Mary and Brandon at this point because it's the same thing. And the fact that they're bringing a young person into this world is sad. I feel sorry for the child. I really feel sorry for the child. Our weekly reminder, whatever happened to Kirsten and Julio? What happened to them? Okay, I don't remember it. Like Tuesday Takeover from last week feels so long ago. But Kimberly and TJ's wedding was gorgeous. Gorgeous. And as you know, it was a full, because we've covered Indian weddings before. It's multiple days, all kinds of traditions, spiritual things that they're doing. I'm so happy that we watched this because we've watched so many Indian weddings and traditions. I don't remember the kitchen being like this sacred space. I don't remember that. But I'm so glad that we learned that in this particular scene with Kimberly and TJ. TJ seems so happy during this whole period of time. Like he didn't, we've seen other sides of TJ, but during his wedding festivities, he was so happy. Her, not so much. Her parents left this week. Now she's being welcomed into the home and now she's being welcomed into the kitchen. Now she's a part of the family. So I liked seeing it this week, but we already know this is going to turn dark real quick. Look. She's concerned because now, very much like Holly, she's moved into this whole other culture, a whole other country. She doesn't have any friends or family in India. Julie says, didn't Mary and Brandon get fired? Yes, they did, allegedly. I don't know if officially it's been announced, but apparently they broke their NDA, and that's why they're not going to. We shall see if they're at the reunion. If they're at the reunion, that means no. But if they're not at the reunion, then we gotta know. All right. Yeah, Stacey says it was a beautiful wedding. It was multiple days. I'm so glad that we had a few episodes of Kimberly and TJ in a happy space, as opposed to where it's been and where it might be going. She's wore out from the festivities. I don't blame her. She was a beautiful bride. I loved all of the colors. I loved all the festivities. It was really, really nice to see it. Shekinah and Saper. So apparently the sister and Shekinah got into a fight again because he did not follow up with posting her on social media. They finally got rid of that E. coli bed. That flesh-eating disease bed. They got rid of that. That was his, gesture to her. So when they went shopping for this new bed, she mentioned that he never posted her on social media. He had promised that he was going to take a picture of her. They took a picture, and he was going to post it on his social media. He did not. So when she pointed it out, he's like, "Why didn't you remind me?" Well, I got to remind you. So he took a picture of her in the bed store and posted it. I'm not that interested in their relationship. Ever since we saw that moment where Saper was telling her how to wear her makeup and how to dress, and he was another controlling one, I was like, oh. And we already found out, she says, she's not the best picker when it comes to men. And we meet Saper, who slept allegedly with 2,500 women, and he's got the E. coli bed. I was like, that was it for me. That was it for me. Elena says on my TikTok, if your relationship is based on IG, sis, he's not the one. That's her level of maturity, though. Her level of maturity, and they seem to have a very surface relationship, Saper and Shekinah. They seem to have a very surface relationship, and she's okay with that. I don't want to know about them. He was like, how many times have I made you on the couch? Because they've been sleeping on the couch because she refused to sleep on this E. coli bed. I don't blame her. I could not rest my head on that headboard, especially with the amount of women he's allegedly slept with. We know this is a surface relationship. This is not going to work. All right. All right, let's move on because it's already almost 2 p.m. Eastern here in New York City. Tuesday Takeover is a full day, but this is our last Tuesday Takeover until I return from the West Coast. All right, so there will not be a Tuesday Takeover next week. All right, and I can't promise the following week, but stay tuned. Stay tuned. Make sure you have your notification on, guys, and that you're subscribed to the channel. Some people have been subscribed and then they're unsubscribed because of some sort of glitch within YouTube. So make sure that you're still subscribed. Shout out to our King's Guards in the live chat. We will be posting the timestamps after the live. If you haven't already, you can still donate to our fundraiser for Black Women's Health Imperative in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Shout out to all those of you that have already donated. We appreciate you guys. And shout out to those of you that have gotten your little Kempire merch. This is one of the many things that you can buy at thehouseofkempire.com. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already, including some caps. We got Twerking on the merch. We have Twerking on the Fence merch. We also have Cite Your Sources merch and Woo 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 merch. All of that is now available. All right. Was there anyone else? Oh, yes, I know. How was I almost going to forget to talk about Danielle and Johan? So we find out this week, and I posted a little bit of a video on TikTok last night. We found out this week that Johan, so you remember that scene that we're waiting for? So we found out this week that Johan was taking money out of her account. And he made it seem like he only went into her account twice. And he also made it seem like, I'm your husband. I should be allowed to do that. He said that he's her husband. He should be allowed to go in her account and take some money out. But you did it sneakily. And then when she confronted you about it, you lied. You lied about it. And now she's like, I need you to leave. I need you to get out of my house. And you know, I have not defended Danielle before, but I felt for Danielle in this moment. And I know some of you are going to say, well, she knew what she was signing up for. She has lied to him. We haven't talked about your bankruptcy. You made it seem like you were going to bring him back to America, and then you changed the script when you came to Dominican Republic. But that still doesn't give him a right to go in her account and take money. It doesn't give him a right to get any sort of money back for what he's put into this apartment, because you've been living there too. Rent, you've been living there. What do you want money back for? Especially when she says that he's been taking money for a while now from her account and she didn't notice it. She just started looking back now. She's like, oh my God, you've been taking. So I kind of felt for her in that situation. I was like, oh, this man has been stealing from her. I don't care if you're her husband. You didn't get permission to go into her account. Just saying. So this week I was sort of like, damn, Danielle. So now we see exactly why we get that scene of her in the elf outfit running around the house. Give me back my dog. Give me back my dog. So I'm thinking that's one of the ways that he is trying to get his money back, because he feels very entitled to her. He's like, you came here and you said you were going to take care of me. And we kind of believed that she kind of insinuated that she would take care of him. But she's now saying that she wants an equal partner. She's like, I'm not going to support some man. Kaboom says, I thought he had cheated and not been a thief. I mean, either one, I kind of thought in my head, but I wanted to wait and see how it played out this week. But apparently he's been... My thing is, you know what they say. If you lie, you steal, you kill. So cheating is very possible. Cheating very possible. Sassy says, wait, he only took $160. Seriously, that's not... Come on, Sassy. Come on. Stealing is stealing. I don't care about the amount. But here's the thing. It wasn't just $160. Based off what they were saying, oh yeah, he took 4,000 pesos and then he took this amount. She said, no, he went into her account multiple times. But for me, it's not necessarily about the money. And she says that too. It's not about the money. It's the fact that he lied about it and was doing this behind her back. For me, it's more about the principle than about the money. And apparently this week we find out he started working and she's expecting him to be an equal partner. But he's like, no. All right. He's like, no. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover, where we cover a variety of reality TV news, and pop culture news. Let's get into some pop culture news, because there's quite a few things that we haven't gotten to talk about just yet for our Tuesday Takeover. I probably won't be taking callers today. I'm sorry, y'all, just because there's still so much more to cover. But it is Halloween. So let me just show you some of my favorite Halloween costumes. Look, today is Halloween, so there will be a lot more. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at The Kempire so you can see some of my favorites. First of all, Megan Thee Stallion. This look, she had a Tim Burton inspired Hottieween party where she had some her favorite celebrity friends come through with their costumes. I love this costume on Megan Thee Stallion. She looks great. And her makeup looks great. She's beautiful. She also has a new song coming out, I believe this week, called Cobra. So she looked really good. Winnie Harlow. So Winnie Harlow, model for America's Next Top Model, international model now. She decided she was going to dress up as Cat Williams. You remember last year she did Michael Jackson? I forgot how much I loved what she did last year. Well, she dressed up as Cat Williams. All right? Let me show you her Cat Williams. And then she did a skit. She always, a lot of the celebrities are now doing costumes, but then they'll do some sort of like video version of the costume, which I can really appreciate as well. I thought that was really good. Okay, Winnie. This is Winnie Harlow. Okay. Ashley and Karen I don't think Karen had a costume on, but this was Ashley Silver from Love and Marriage DC, which I don't know what's happening with the rest of this last season, but yeah. Ashley looked really great. I loved her costume. She was dressed up as Princess Jasmine. I don't think Karen was dressed up as anything, but maybe she was. Maybe she was, and I'm just not seeing it. All right. I thought that was a cute costume. Let me tell you something. Keke Palmer. Okay, so we had this picture of Keke Palmer and her baby, all right? And her caption was, "He made me." And I was just like, this is so cute. So she had a couple costumes as well for Halloween. I thought this was really, really, really cute. Her and her baby and the caption, "He made me." But then she did another one for Life Size, okay, in honor of Lindsay Lohan and Tyra Banks' movie. I thought this was really cute. This was cute. I don't think there's anything special. You recreated this moment. I prefer the other one, but this was cute too. And with a fellow actress, Addie. Cute. This was adorable. So that was just a couple of my favorite Halloween costumes. What are your favorite Halloween costumes from some of your celebrities? I did see, shout out to our friends over at Love B. Scott. B. Scott posted a video of someone recreating Jerome from Martin, the series. And let me tell you something. I wish I had saved the video so I could show it to you guys here. But you can go over to Love B. Scott on their Instagram, and you can see the video. He did Jerome so well. I was like, who is this guy? Like, it was such... And my thing, you have to be of a certain age to really appreciate it. But he did Jerome so well. The look, the voice, the mannerisms was perfect. I really, really, really did enjoy it. So happy Halloween to anyone that celebrates Halloween. And when I say anyone who celebrates, we're celebrating here. When we get our daytime talk show, we'll put on a big fiesta. Okay? All right? That's when the budget will be budgeting. All right. Let's move on. Because I'm waiting to see Kandi's costume. Because, Kandi from the Real Housewives of Atlanta normally does, she's really into Halloween. And I was reminded because one of the old videos that I did for her costume from last year or the previous year came up as a reminder on TikTok. And I'm just using this as a segue to talk about Kandi Burruss and her restaurant, Old Lady Gang. So, Keith Lee, who I was not familiar with. Keith Lee. But as I said before, and I think I said this on the podcast recently, there are so many content creators out there that we just don't know about. So I became familiar with Keith Lee. So let me just show you Keith Lee, because Keith Lee was in these Atlanta streets this past week, getting places like the Real Milk and Honey together and Old Lady Gang. So this is what Keith Lee had to say about Kandi's restaurant, OLG, which we've talked about on our Kandi and the Gang reviews.
Yesterday, me and my family were at the One Music Festival. Somebody who works with Kandi Burruss walked up to us and said they've been trying to reach us since we got to Atlanta. He said he'd been constantly emailing me and constantly DMing me for me to come to Old Lady Gang. I got it, let's try it, and rated 1 through 10. As you can see, I don't have any bags in my hands. Me and my family showed up and we attempted to order before we got here. We called the number they had connected on Yelp 3 times, no answer. We tried to order through DoorDash and it said it was temporarily closed. So when we pulled up, I sent my family in to order for us. They said on the weekends, due to being busy, they don't do any takeout at all.
They do to-go orders? No, we don't do to-go on the weekend. Oh, okay, so sit-in dining. Yes. Okay, thank you, sweetie. We appreciate you.
Which is completely understandable. So what we decided to do is my family's gonna go eat. They're just gonna come bring the food out while I'm sitting in the car, so they have no idea I'm here. My family asked how long the wait was to be seated. They said an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. Okay.
She also said they didn't have any reservations available, so they didn't take down any number, any contact information, nothing. My family then came and relayed that message to me, and I decided to go in myself. We walked in and we were greeted by a nice young lady. And then I met some amazing people who were eating there, and we took some pictures. God, it's amazing. As soon as me and my wife were done taking pictures, the lady said the table was ready. As always, I don't want any special treatment. I want to be treated like everybody else. I pay for my food like everybody else. I'm a normal person. I'm a normal customer. Things like this is exactly why I do reviews the way I do. Just because I have a certain amount of followers on social media don't make me different from nobody. My mom, my mom-in-law, my sister, they all paying customers just like me. So I want them to be treated just like me. So I asked how long the wait time has been today. She said an hour to an hour and a half. So which I then asked, how were you able to sit me in 5 minutes? This is her response.
How long are we looking for as far as wait?
I'm just gonna set up for 5 minutes. On the wait, this all call came. Now it's whoever first come, first serve.
again, my family just attempted to eat there less than 2 minutes ago. I then told her I changed my mind. We're going to go eat somewhere else. And I said, God bless you. And I walked out.
On second thought, it's okay. We're going to go eat somewhere else. So I appreciate it, though. For sure. Thank you. God bless. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Have a good one.
Have a great day.
I'm going to be very...
Okay. First of all, after watching a couple of his videos, I really appreciate what he said at the end of this particular video, letting people know, don't go and give this restaurant a terrible review if you haven't gone there yourself and actually had that experience. Don't base it off of what I'm saying in my experience. So Kandi decided to respond. First off, I will say the Real Milk and Honey decided to respond, and they made sort of like this joke of like, oh, who is Keith Lee? I've never heard of him. And then they had this long caption in response to it. And a lot of people gave them backlash. I believe they deleted their video on TikTok in regards to this. So Kandi also responded on her social media saying this.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Kandi, and I'm about to speak on it. No, I'm joking. I'm not about to speak on it. I really just wanted to say I do appreciate Keith Lee for stopping by our restaurant and trying to show us love. It is very unfortunate that we couldn't serve him and his family. We would have loved to, okay? But he's right. We don't take to-go orders on the weekends, and the simple reason is because we do love and appreciate the people who come and support our restaurant. On the weekends, we get a lot of community support, people in our city that show up for us, as well as a lot of people from out of town. So with that being said, we don't want to overwhelm our kitchen by having to, have such long times for the people who are actually at the restaurant, plus having to do to-go orders, because obviously that would make the wait times even longer. So that's the reason for that. For those of you, I saw a couple people was like, why wouldn't they take to-go orders? Well, that's why. Anyway, with that, outside of that, I want to say thanks to Keith for trying to even show up to our restaurant and show us love. Thanks for trying to bring your family by, and maybe next time we'll still get a chance to serve you. Okay.
So a lot of people were pointing out to Kandi in this video is that, well, that's all well and good, but the real issue people had was not about the to-go orders. It was more about the wait time. His family went in, they had to wait an hour and a half for a table. He comes in as someone that has 14 million followers on TikTok, and he's bumped ahead. Oh, 5 minutes, sir. And for him, that was his issue, was like, I'm not going to even do that. I'm not going to go ahead of anyone else. That's part of his review. So a lot of people are calling Kandi out for not answering that particular question. And then someone reminded me on my Twitter, because I did a whole video talking about this when it happened, when Kandi went to Chick-fil-A, and she was very upset that the Chick-fil-A woman at the drive-thru did not say, what are they supposed to say at Chick-fil-A? You guys are wrong. What are they supposed to say? They have a saying they're supposed to say. You guys will remind me in the chat. They have a certain thing that they are supposed to say at the end of their, my pleasure. Thank you, TikTok. See, TikTok, my pleasure. She made a whole video about this woman not saying my pleasure during the pandemic. All right? She was like, this woman didn't say my pleasure. But I remember doing the whole video about this. So I do find that interesting. You made such a big deal about someone not saying my pleasure, and we are now in the space of talking about your restaurant in regards to inconsistencies in regards to wait time. But some people will also say, well, why not make special privileges for someone that is a reviewer? Cardi B even came out recently and said sometimes she drops her names in Atlanta because that will get her better service. Why are we not consistent with the service across the board? Is it this bad in Atlanta? Let me tell you something, though. And I'm not going to Kandi and the Gang. And not Kandi and the Gang. I'm not going to Old Lady Gang. Just because you guys have told me it's sort of like this tourist trap. There's been mixed reviews on the food. However, I'm not going to wait an hour and a half for food. Not the way my stomach is set up. Who's waiting an hour and a half for food? Some people will. And I'm not saying that I haven't before. I remember when I went to Gatlinburg. What's the name of the place? It was Crockett's in Gatlinburg. Have you ever been? They have Aretha's pancakes, which are delicious. I think there I waited maybe like an hour, hour and a half for a table. But in real life, look, in real life, I'm not going to wait an hour and a half. And honestly, I probably would have been pissed too if I was one of those people waiting an hour and a half and then all of a sudden Keith Lee comes in there and he's able to get a table before me. I might be a little upset. But like I said, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Catch you on the fly. Catch you next time. Catch you next time. Oh, Keek says, and the wait is literally outside. You can't even sit down. Don't they usually have like lines around the corner? I'm not doing that. This is not the club. And even with the club, I don't want to wait online to go into the club. To be honest with you. Miss Esquire Crockett's is good. Food's good there. Now I want some. Now I want some. Okay, well, see, here's the thing. Riz says, I do for my favorite brunch spot, and it's worth it. And I've already, me and my friends, when we go to Crockett's, we already figured out how to make it work because you can go online and book a seat so that way you don't end up waiting too long when you get there. So there are ways, and some places are worth it. And sometimes you can plot and plan, oh, you know what? They're going to message you when your table's ready. You can go out and do some other things. See, Sassy, and I appreciate the honesty. Sassy says, I don't know. If I have privilege, I'm using it. Well, look, Cardi admitted that's just what she does. Cardi B admitted that this is what she does as well. She's like, in Atlanta, unfortunately, the service in Atlanta is not great. This is what people are saying. I haven't experienced it, so I don't know. But now I'm concerned when I come to visit Atlanta. Is this going to be my concern? Like the service is not good? Not even just wait time. The actual service is not good, allegedly. I'm not using it. Look. There was an Indian place that we went. But we kind of knew already. It was in Asheville, North Carolina. And it was this Indian spot that was on a television show. But we sort of plotted and planned it so that we didn't end up waiting too long. Like that's the benefit. Sometimes you do your homework on a place, you don't have to wait an hour and a half. Was it worth it? Look, was it worth it? Jasmine says, why don't OLG just change to reservations only? Kaboom says, wait, hold on. Let me read this. Kaboom says, do you name drop Kemp? No, drop whose name? Someone else's name. Kanye's here. Look, if I put a mask on, whose name am I dropping? Nope. Look, nope. I mean, if I could, and it might get me in. I don't think I need them. I'm not waiting online. Sorry. Is the food that good? I've heard mixed things. I've had friends go there. I've heard some of you've called in and talked about OLG. How come we're not talking about Blaze? Look. Anyways. All right, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. This is our Tuesday Takeover. We're almost at 500 likes, so be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Let me just say thank you, Candiace, for the super chat. Candiace says, love Keith Lee. I've been to OLG. His review is accurate. Candiace, did you get actual food when you went? And was it good? Because for me, look, the review did what it needed to do in regards to that. But I really wanted to know what the food is like. Because then maybe it's worth the hour and a half wait. Do you guys think that if you've been to the Old Lady Gang, is it worth the hour and a half wait? Because some places are. Look, I'm from New York City. Some places are worth the hour and a half wait. Mama Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. Mama Allie says, I do live near Green Bay, Wisconsin, and most restaurants have signs in their facilities that say you will not be given special treatment. We serve people, not We serve people, not status. No shade. Oh, wait, this is Green Bay. This is where the Green Bay Packers are from? Look. Not us talking about sports. I love that. We serve people, not status. Thank you, Mom Ali, for the super chat. Shout out to our King's Guards that are always holding us down in the live chat. We appreciate them being here as well. Shout out to our channel members as well. Channel members, for those that may have missed me saying this earlier in the live, we were not able to do yesterday's special live, the reading of this Vanity Fair article, because it just a lot was happening yesterday. So I do apologize. We will do something of a podcast, a live recording for members only. To become a member of the channel, head on over to teamcampfire.com/join. All right. All right. Samara says, I don't mind waiting, but I expect the service and hosting to be excellent. And I've heard mixed things about the service over at OLG. But from what we're hearing in Atlanta, service is a little shaky. That's a little shaky. All right. KSBN loading. Candiace, thank you so much for another super chat. Candiace, you did not have to send another super chat to tell us this. The wait was long. The food was just okay. I somehow unsubscribed, and now I have to wait to type it. Oh, that's why. Oh, Candiace, and I said this to you. See, this is a perfect example, guys, for those that are watching on YouTube. Just double check that you're still subscribed. You didn't unsubscribe. There is some sort of glitch with YouTube. It's been for a while now, like a couple of years, where they will unsubscribe you from the channel. So double check that you're subscribed. Double check that your notifications are on. If you weren't notified, turn them off, turn them back on. And sorry, Candiace. We appreciate the support, though. You're still here supporting. I don't know what that was about, Candiace, but thank you so much for the update. We appreciate it. That's why Candiace couldn't type it in the chat. Thank you, Candiace. All right. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Thank you, Nightbot, for reminding us. Don't forget, proud sponsor of today's live from Coldest. Coldest doesn't just have water bottles that keeps your water cold for 36 plus hours. They have sheets, they have pillows, they have ice packs. Head on over to coldest.com, but don't forget to use the discount code KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of your order. That is KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of your order. All right. Where do I want to go next? I still have quite a few different things to talk about. All right. Do I? Oh, let me take a little bit of a break and then we'll talk about Phaedra Parks. We got to talk about Phaedra Parks and then we got to talk about Big Brother. All right. So let me just take a quick bathroom break and I will be right back to get into this. Those of you that are watching on TikTok, those of you who are watching on Twitch, Twitter, or on Facebook, keep liking the video. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, keep liking and sharing the video as well. Let me just get to this so we can get to the rest of our hot topics for Tuesday Takeover. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween to anyone that's celebrating. We're celebrating a little bit here on the channel, but if you're part of the replay crew, as always, we will be posting the timestamp so you can get your favorite part of the live. But I always say it's a fun show to listen to while you're working, doing something else. From start to finish, but we will be posting the timestamps, thankfully, because of our wonderful King's Guards. Mama Ali is taking the timestamps in the live chat, so we appreciate her for doing that. All right. Let me say thank you. We had a super chat come through. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, another great Tuesday takeover. Happy Halloween to you as well, Julie. We appreciate you always supporting here any way that you can. All right. Let's talk about Phaedra Parks and the fakery. So I posted a video over the weekend in regards to Phaedra Parks. All right, so Phaedra Parks, as you know, is joining Married to Medicine. The season 10 premiere of Married to Medicine will be happening right after Real Housewives of Potomac's season 8 premiere this Sunday, the last day of BravoCon. So as we already kind of knew that Phaedra was sort of using this boyfriend, doctor boyfriend that she has, as a way to get back on reality TV, a way to get back on Bravo. So she did a recent interview with Page Six and alluded that there might be a new doctor in her life. And she was referring to the doctor that she was dating currently on Married to Medicine as Dr. O. And I was like, are we not going to talk about who this man is? Is he a real person?
Members, but you are now dating a doctor, Dr. O. He's still a mystery. We don't know who he is or much about him other than that he seems to be a great catch. He is a pediatric cardiologist, which is so just admirable and wonderful and probably very, very attractive to you. But like, what can you say about the relationship? Because you're not really sharing much.
Well, you know, honey, if you want to keep something going, you got to keep it to yourself. No, TV has not been the best on relationships, but Dr. O is definitely one of the most brilliant men that I've ever met and dated in my life. You know, I haven't been known for dating, you know, the smartest men, but you know, he's definitely super smart. Like, he's a cardiologist, you know, so he's a sweetie pie, but you'll have to watch to see what happens. But yeah, there might be another doctor that's looming in the picture as well. So there's love is in the air, honey.
Are we possibly dating another doctor?
There's a possibility.
Okay, so now that you're in your dating,
And I get it. I get why some people wanted to see Phaedra come back. Phaedra was a very great addition to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. However, she refuses to give us the real. She refused to give us her real, birth date of her son at the time. So she's been lying to us ever since then. But the fake boyfriend situation and the clip that they posted, they released the first 8 minutes of the Married to Medicine premiere. And I can already tell that Phaedra she really is just a caricature of herself. She's not real. She's not honest. I don't know if I really expected her to be honest, but I thought at least, well, I was like, maybe she really is dating a doctor. Fine. But when they showed pictures of the doctor and they refused to show his face, I'm assuming he did not sign the release. Are you kidding me right now? So we're not going to see the doctor. So we're just using this as an excuse, which we already kind of knew. We're just using this as an excuse to bring Phaedra back on reality TV. She also recently spoke about why she decided not to join the Real Housewives of Dubai, because we didn't want you there. She said that the reason was because, you know, her kids are in school and, you know, her life is in Atlanta. So in the first 8 minutes of this season premiere that we see Phaedra, I didn't even realize that Phaedra had this other business where she was selling these goods. Did you guys know she had this other business? For those that are in Atlanta, did you even know that this was a real business? Is it a real business? I just don't know with Phaedra anymore. And look, we get it. Certain things on reality TV have to be pre-produced. But the fact that they're showing this picture of this man with a cartoon character over his face, obviously because they did not get a release from this man. Apparently he's African, Nigerian. But I thought at the very least, if they were going to bring her into Married to Medicine, I know she's not married to this man, that at least we would get, well, she has this man that she's dating that's a doctor. Then I was like, all right, okay, we could go with that. But when she did this recent interview saying that, oh, there might be another doctor looming, I'm guessing the contract with the other doctor was up, and now she had to get another doctor to keep her position on the show. I'm not going to judge until I see how she plays with the other housewives on the show, but I did see Dr. Heavenly live on YouTube, and Dr. Heavenly is not afraid to tell her truth. She likes Phaedra. She thinks Phaedra's a phenomenal person when it comes to her career and all the things, but she's like, you're not going to play with us with this cartoon character boyfriend. Daisy said, is Dr. O white or black? Well, they do talk about that in the first 8 minutes. He's black. He's Nigerian. He's black. She said, they make a little joke about it. She was like, oh, you got me on the white meat. He's dark meat. So apparently he is, and honestly, we could easily probably figure out who Dr. O is, but it's unimportant because it's not a real relationship in my book. I don't feel like it's a real relationship. I don't think that this is their excuse to bring Phaedra back. They even use an old clip of that read that Phaedra used against Kenya during that reunion from Atlanta. So they used that in that. They clearly want to get the Atlanta audience to come over to watch Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine's ratings have been consistent. They have not been Atlanta numbers, but they have been consistent. And people feel like Phaedra's coming over here to stink up the place with her phony fake-ness. And honestly, I was really coming into the season with an open mind. I was like, you know what? Let's see. She's supposedly dating a doctor. She dropped that on Ultimate Girls Trip. So I was like, let's see. But nope. Nope. Miss Esquire, we appreciate you. Miss Esquire says she's still in good standing with the Georgia bar and active. I wasn't surprised by that. I know some people were linking me to NECA on Potomac, saying that her bar license is suspended. I understand. I come from a world of the legal field, so I'm very familiar with what that means. That doesn't mean a lot. It means that maybe she didn't pay her dues, or she didn't do the classes, or she's not practicing this, so that's part of the reason why she hasn't paid. So I'm assuming that. We shall see. But Jillian says Married to Medicine doesn't need her. I agree, but I think Bravo wanted to bring her back in some capacity. And as we already know, there's rumors on the street that Real Housewives of Atlanta is getting a reboot. And part of the reason of the reboot is because it's expensive with the people they currently have on the show. So I highly doubt they're going to bring back Phaedra. The same way they're not bringing back Portia, they're not bringing back Kim Zolciak. They're not going to bring back Phaedra, who's going to cost a lot for them. All right? Oh, Roman wants to know, what's the hoodie say? House of Kempire. Go to houseofkempire.com. That's HAUS of Kempire.com for our merch. So this is our House of Kempire sweatshirt. Great quality. I think it's a great price as well. So be sure to check out all of our merch. We have Twerking on the Fence merch. We have Cite Your Sources merch. We even have Woo 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 merch as well. So be sure to check that out. Thanks, Roman, for asking. All right. Let me go back down here. All right. So that's the situation with Phaedra. As you know, Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Potomac will premiere on November 5th, Sunday, November 5th. That's the last day of BravoCon. I will try and get a recap to you guys. So stay tuned for that, the day and time. But make sure that you're still subscribed. Make sure your notifications are on. And make sure that you're following us on social media, because I usually post when I'm going live and things like that as well. All right. Carrie says that Faye is definitely fake, but Dr. Heavenly already stinks up Married to Medicine. So they are two of a kind and just display it differently. I mean, they're both Scorpios. I don't know about stinking up the place, but they're both Scorpios. So maybe that's why. Y'all are a mess. All right. Let's move on. Let me just see if there is any other. Okay. So I want to move on to. Let's talk about Below Deck briefly. So Below Deck Med. I'm enjoying the season so far. You know, I don't really watch Below Deck Med to see the tomfoolery that happens between the crew. That's not the interesting part for me when watching Below Deck. We do get a little bit of that in this episode, in this season. I'm glad that Toomey and Natalia are getting along right now, but Natalia and Kyle aren't. Kyle, and I love that Toomey pointed this out, if you're talking crap about Natalia to me, are you talking crap about me to Natalia? Yes. But Kyle is necessary for this season. He is a crap starter, and he's funny. I like Kyle for our reality show, not like for real life. Maybe in real life too. But I thought he was quite funny. And I think he's stirring the pot this season a lot. But he's very annoyed by Natalia. But Natalia is going through some drama with her personal relationship. You know, her boyfriend of 4 months asked to be in an open relationship, but it seems like it's a one-sided open relationship. He's out here doing what he wants to do. Now he's going off. I think he said they're going to Vietnam or something, him and some friends, after he was just hanging out with some girls. Okay. But now she's sort of like, well, if we're in an open relationship, that means I can hook up with Luca. And Luca says that Natalia is his type. Luca, let's be honest. Any woman is your type. I feel like any woman is his type. But they do end up kissing, hooking up in this episode. I did think this was a cute episode with the family on the yacht and Jack doing the little pizza party for them. And then they did the whole treasure hunt. Does anyone know Natalia's birthday? I bet, and look, it's not just on your sun sign. I bet she has a lot of Virgo in her chart. The way she put together and the way she sort of functions as a stew on this yacht, she's got a lot of Virgo in her chart, I bet. I bet she does. Because she was just very meticulous. And even the way that she handles certain things, I was like, oh, you're giving Virgo. It's giving Virgo to me. Oh, he was going to Thailand. I'm sorry. So I feel for her in this. I don't think this relationship is going to work. I don't think this relationship, because first of all, it's one-sided. He wants an open relationship, but he's making her feel guilty about when she goes out, and he's like, what are you doing? You out here hooking up. You asked me for an open relationship. I should be able to hook up whoever I want to, especially if it's Luca. Captain Sandy gets a bad rep, but I really enjoy her this season because I feel like I love Captain Lee. You know how much I love Captain Lee on Below Deck. But I feel like she really tries to help these folks become better as workers. I haven't watched all the seasons with Captain Lee, but the seasons that I have watched, I just kind of get that. And look, she can be annoying. She can sort of favor the deck crew. However, I have to say, I like the fact how she's sort of mentoring both Laura and Luca. This episode, she's giving Laura, like, learn how to steer the yacht. Learn how to steer the yacht. She was doing the same thing with Luca. Max is still lazy and not working. But Captain Sandy jumps in when Laura and Max are not getting along and not communicating. She's trying to make them better workers. I can really appreciate that. Oh, Temmie says that Talia is a Pisces. That makes sense too. But like I said, it's not just your sun sign. It's not just your sun sign. I get some Virgo things, but I can see Pisces as well. All right. So Suzanne says, watch previous seasons of Med. I know. I've heard. You guys have told me. Jasmine says Captain Sandy is very different this season. I mean, you guys have told me. But I can appreciate who she is this season. I'm taking her as this person this season. I enjoyed the primary guests and their kids on the yacht, having a good time. They had a little bit of like this, what was it? It was like a themed party with the pirates and things like that. I thought that was really good. A treasure hunt and things like that. I thought that was cute. Foxy says, Matt, ugh. Yeah, Matt's annoying, but we need Matt. We can't have the entire crew getting along. We need one lazy crew member so we can talk about them. And that's who Matt is. But I love the fact that Captain Sandy pointed out that there might be some communication issues because of a language barrier. I was like, these are important to point out. We were just talking about that during our Real Housewives of New York recap. All right. Gina says that Southern Charm is good this year. I can't watch another show. Maybe after Big Brother has ended. Speaking of Big Brother, let's move on to Big Brother. You know, I am loving Big Brother. However, okay, I watched Big Brother season 10. Can we briefly talk about that? And then I got to get out of here. I've been live for like almost 2 hours. Big Brother 10, one of probably the most iconic seasons of the Big Brother franchise. This is what you guys have said. Was interesting. Why were these people so aggressive? I would not want to be in this house. Everybody was fighting from like episode 1. I thought there was going to be a physical altercation. Sidebar, you know I had to Google schmoogle. Was Jerry still alive? Jerry is still alive. Still live and digging out ditches and things and looking good. Jerry's ready to come back to the Big Brother house. I'd love to see it. Jerry calling his wife made me cry. Michelle, anger issues. Look, I was like, oh, Michelle scared me. I don't love what Michelle said to Libra. And look, I was a little uncomfortable when Libra said that she left her kids that were only 5 months, the twins. But I also was like, I don't blame Libra for taking that trip as opposed to taking a letter from her kids. Do you? All right. Hey, Sabby. Watching from London. Love it. I can't wait to get back to London. I'm outside trick-or-treating with my nephews. I love that. Who else is trick-or-treating this year? I feel like people don't trick or treat anymore. Stacy says, I'm watching Big Brother because of you, Kempire. Well, I'm watching because y'all told me to watch. Our girl Suri is on season 25, the current season. We'll talk about that in a second, but season 10, just my hot takes. Dan, he deserved that win. He deserved that win. You guys told me also that Dan returns in season 14. So I need to go watch that. His game was superb. So for those that don't watch Big Brother, this game is not just about winning comps. It's a critical part, though. It's a critical part. That's why I wish Suri and Felicia would win some comps. But I think Suri's going this week. What do you guys think? Ugh. I think she's going this week. It makes me sad. I didn't think that she was necessarily going to win, but I wanted her to get to at least maybe the top 4, top 3. We'll get to that in a second. But season 10, the way that Dan played this game was superb. Memphis, I kind of already knew that he was going to win, but their unity really carried them to the end. Keisha, I was glad when Keisha won People's Champ. Look, America's Choice. But Dan played a superb game in season 10 of Big Brother. Like from the beginning, he played such a good game. Social game. Comp wins. Like if you go rewatch season 10 and you look at how he played the game, this guy was playing a psychological game. He was playing an emotional game. He was playing a physical game. And that's all the elements, but he was superb at playing each of these elements. Like, I feel like Suri on season 25 plays a superb social and psychological game. Like, she's no dummy. Like, she knows what she's doing. I just wish she would want... if she had won this week's comp, would have been fantastic. It would have been fantastic because I wonder who she would have put on the block. And I hate the fact that Matt... Okay, we're going to segue into season 25. Matt is sitting there lying to her face. They have been close since the beginning. And he's sitting there lying to her face. Damn you, Matt. And I was on the fence. I was like, maybe Matt can win. But why are we talking about Riley this week? Riley left in the second week of this show, and we're talking about Riley. Why was Riley hanging out with Matt's mom? That's weird to me. She knew your son for 2 seconds. Is this her way of getting a moment to still be talked about? Because the way they've been talking about her on the live feeds, I'm like, why are we talking about Riley? But I also thought it was weird in the second week where he was like, I'm so mad, I'm so sad that Riley's leaving. You knew her for 2 weeks. Matt? Look. Sorry, good point. Zari says, Suri's jury management, though, she's smart. She's really smart. I just wish she would have won a comp or something, or at least aligned herself with someone that could win comps. And I think she thought she did with Matt, but he's sitting there lying to her face. Exactly. Conchita said the way Matt turned and playing Jag's game. So if it's between Jag and Matt, it should be Jag, because Jag has puppeteered this entire game. You should have listened to Mama Suri. You should have listened to her. She would have probably brought you at least to the top 3 with someone else he could win against. But let's be honest. I think if it was between Suri and Matt, Suri would win. Don't you guys think? Don't you think? Exactly. Deborah says that Matt is playing for second place. It's sad. It's sad. Like, I'm not going to be mad if Jag wins. I don't love the way that Jag is playing. Jag has really been very two-faced, but it's hard to say that someone's two-faced in this game of Big Brother because somewhat that's the game. If you can play this game with some integrity, I mean, that's superb. That's superb. But there is some line. Look at Dan in season 10. Literally had to kind of renege on his deal with Ali. Why was Ali so weird in season 10? He gave me the ick from the beginning. Something about the way he carried himself and talked. I was like, ick. I didn't like Ali. I didn't like Libra either. But I like Libra more than Ali. And then when he started running around that house after Dan betrayed him, throwing things and getting upset. Shersa says Jag deserves that win. At this point, and I saw on Taylor Hale's Instagram Live, I think she feels like a lot of us do. The beginning of the season was really great and entertaining, but now that we're getting towards the end where it's so obvious who's going to win, it makes it less entertaining for us. And then when you watch her season, you watch Taylor's season last season, you weren't sure. You weren't sure. The things that she had to overcome to get to that end and then to win was something else. Like she had to really play some major Big Brother. But so Matt won the HOH this week. But then this might be a spoiler. I can't remember. Because I've been watching live feeds as well. And I've been on Big Brother Twitter, which can be just as toxic as Bravo. I'm just saying. Some of the things that y'all say in the comment section, I'm just like, ooh. I'm like, all right. Zari, I am going to do the same. Voting for Sari for America's favorite house guest. I agree. Me too. Anyone else? Felicia. Let's talk about Mama Felicia. Felicia would be a close second for me. She would be a close second for me. But I hate the way that she turned on Sari. She has not been loyal to her from the jump. When they said we could be the final two, she's been jumping, shucking and jiving this entire season. But I'm so glad that she made it this far. I'm glad that she wasn't voted out the first time that she was put on the block. She has been far more entertaining than anyone else. Even more than Sari, to be honest with you. Like entertaining. Like she's been entertaining for me, watching the live feeds and watching her on this show. But we also know that the way that Matt and Jag use the mamas, they only kept them in the house because they were doing all the cooking and cleaning. Come on. They talked about it. So that's part of the reason why they've kept them in the house this long. And that's probably why we can get rid of Sari because we still have Mama Felicia to cook and clean for us. So are all of us voting for Sari for America's favorite house guest? Are we all? When does the voting start? Because I'm ready to vote right now. Right now. Guys, if you're just joining us, I know this is a long live. Shout out to all of you that have been rocking with us this entire 2 hours of our Tuesday Takeover. If you're new to this is where we cover a variety of pop culture news, reality TV, and reality TV news. We're right in the middle of talking about Big Brother Season 10 and also the current season, Season 25. A lot has played out. There's no way I could cover every single part of what has been playing out, especially in the live feeds. Sometimes I'm sitting here eating dinner, watching them eat dinner. I'm like, because sometimes they start talking about their gameplay or they talk about their personal life, and you learn something new about them. Wendy says that this is the first time a senior citizen has gone this far. No, it's not. Jerry was 70-something years old. He was in the final three. Look at me talking like I've been watching Big Brother since the beginning. I'm in. When is Celebrity Big Brother coming? I need to see Celebrity Big Brother. I need to see who they're going to put in the house. I want to see Kenya Moore. I want to see Nene. Look, I want to do a Housewives version. No. I want to see Kenya Moore. I want to see Nene. They can represent because there's going to be conflict. They're going to have their issues. And then I want to see Tiffany New York Pollard. Than everyone else. Wait, someone told me on Twitter that Dan from season 10 of Big Brother is going to be on Trader season 2. I'm so glad that I watched season 10. You know what I mean? Miss R&D Diva Thank you. Kempire, that sounds like Jag is treating them like you know what. But then again, Jag may be used to women doing all of the domestic work. A lot of people that have been watching the live feeds have said how misogynistic both Matt and Jag have been, especially in their commentary. All right. Hey, Chef Lorraine. Kempire, I know you're busy, but can you please watch House of Villains? We did talk a little bit about it, Chef Lorraine, earlier in the episode, but I didn't get to finish watching this last week's episode. I'm going to still be in and out on House of Villains, and we'll continue to talk about it here on our Tuesday Takeover, just because I can't possibly do a separate live. I will know when it's time for us to do a separate live on a particular show. I don't think that one particularly just yet. Okay. All right. Did I miss anything that I wanted to talk about? No, I covered pretty much everything. Maybe I will do a separate live conversation or a podcast episode on Big Brother season 25, but stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed to the Kempire Radio podcast on your favorite podcast platform, be sure to do that and give us a 5-star rating if you haven't already. And be sure to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. We just dropped a visual version, which I included live footage from the Lauryn Hill concert. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. Thank you to everyone that sends in super chats. Thank you to everyone that donated to our Breast Cancer Awareness Month fundraiser that was supporting Black women's health imperative this month. We reached our goal of over $2,500. Thank you. All right. Shout out to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to teamkempire.com/join. And of course, thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down. We will be posting the timestamps after the live for those that are watching the replay. Replay crew, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share your good news. And don't forget to let us know your thoughts on any of the things that we've been talking about. And if you're new to Tuesday Takeover and you like this sort of mashup of hot topics, be sure to check out some of our past Tuesday Takeovers, because this is where we talk about some of those shows you don't even realize I'm talking about, like Below Deck, like 90 Day Fiancé and all the iterations. What are the other shows? We've covered, Love is Blind. There have been quite a few different shows that we cover on our Tuesday Takeover. So as I said before, for those that might forget, next week there will be no Tuesday Takeover. And I can't promise that the following week I'll be back, but I can't promise that I'll be fit enough or ready enough to do a Tuesday Takeover next week. So stay tuned. We will get back. I will be trying to keep up and watch all the things, and we can do a full Tuesday Takeover after BravoCon. But if you're a member of the channel, you'll get an inside look and stories from BravoCon that's happening this week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat, that sent a like. Those of you that tapped your screens on TikTok, those of you that are watching on Twitter, Facebook, and on Twitch. We appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I will see you all in the next video. Happy Halloween. Happy anyone celebrating a birthday today, including my mom. Shout out to all the Scorpios. I appreciate you all being here. Have a great rest of your evening, day, afternoon, whatever time it may be, wherever you're watching. Let's get out of here, y'all.